Hi, welcome everybody. My name's Jules, and as I said in my last video, I'm going to start doing some things on crochet because crochet is really my go-to projects at the minute. It just makes me feel so much better when I'm just sitting in my own little world crocheting. But it didn't always start like that. I've been a very crafty person all my life. I originally started with knitting. My mum taught me how to knit. God bless her, she's no longer with us. And I can always remember holding the hanks of yarn, and she used to say, "Can you stand there, Jules, and I'll wind the wool." And she used to knit us mittens. I don't know if people can remember my age, but they used to put elastic through and you used to have your mittens on, and I just thought it was fascinating what she was doing, and so she taught me to knit. So up until 2 years ago, that's what I used to do. I used to knit. I wasn't brilliant. I just used to do odd projects and things. I think someone's going to come and say hello in a minute. She's there, look, she's peeping out, little Purdy. Hello, Purdy. So I started, I thought I was wanting to do some crochet. I met a friend at a car boot sale, funny enough, and she was selling baby blankets. And I said to her, how do you manage to do like so many? Because you work full time as well. And she said, because she crochets, and crochet was a quick way of working up a project without getting sort of disillusioned with it, with knitting. So I thought, right, that's what I'm going to do. So she just said to me, basically, get a hook, get some wool, and just practice. Go online, go on YouTube, videos similar to this. I mean, I'm subscribed to that many videos. It's unbelievable. So what I did was, I thought I would start out, she told me to start out with something called a chain. Well, then I didn't have a clue what she was talking about. So I just went online, picked a few different people out that were saying how to crochet. Now, bear in mind, I'm left-handed. So when I was watching the screen, they were doing it the right-handed way, but I am quite fortunate in that I can use scissors in my right hand and I use a knife and fork the left-handed way. I have a spoon in my left hand, so I can kind of use both hands. So I've actually taught myself how to crochet the right-handed way. So if we do anything in the future, it's not the left-handed way. What was I going to say? Oh yeah, the best thing to do if you're starting out is get a thicker type of wool, maybe it's a chunky or even a double knit, and a bigger hook. And I must admit, I got so frustrated in the early days trying. I tried to do the chain, even just trying to get the loop on the hook to start with, trying to get the tension right in how I held it. And again, I'm going to do a video of how I do it later on, maybe in a couple of weeks' time, of how to do a chain. But yeah, so what I did was I eventually got it. I had it wrapped around one finger and then wrapped around other fingers, and it was just starting to get on my nerves really about how to do it. But I kept practicing, couldn't hold the yarn. I was getting big loops, small loops. It was getting really, really tight. And then I was waking up in the middle of the night thinking, I'm going to do this, and I kept pulling it out, going back to it. Eventually I got a way of how I wanted to hold the yarn, because I say everybody's different, there's no right or wrong way, and you will find your own way. And it did take me quite a while. It took me 2 or 3 weeks before I could finally get how I wanted to hold the yarn. Anyway, once I mastered that, then I just kept chaining, and I was literally doing chains and chains and chains and chains and chains and nothing else. And I'm thinking, well, there's got to be more to it than this. So then I started going on to more videos on YouTube, because YouTube is absolutely brilliant for people to learn crochet, and it's what I do. I'm more of a physical looking at learner rather than reading. I still struggle to read crochet patterns, although I can read a knitting pattern. So do both. I mean, some people might pick it up really, really quick reading a pattern. I'm slowly starting to get there, but if there's a video backing anything up that shows me exactly what to do, that's how I learn. So that's basically how I started to learn to crochet, and I've been crocheting now possibly about 2 years, and it's just, I don't think about it much anymore what I'm doing, unless I'm doing an intricate pattern. So yeah, my top tips: get a bigger hook, get some yarn, practice. That's it. It took me, it took me quite a while to do it, and then you'll start going on to doing different stitches. I signed up for a couple of what they call cowls crochet alongs on different sites like Serdar. Again, I'm going to start doing a list of all the places I go to for my wool. But obviously I'm based in the UK, so in America it'll be totally different, or wherever you're from. I don't mean to single America out. But yeah, so wherever you're from, you'll have different suppliers. But there is one called Hobby, I think it's HOBBI, which is goes to America, goes to Australia, sells to the UK, and they've got a good range on there. But again, I'm going to put some stockists or retailers or people that I use and the type of wool. So basically today, that was really just to say that's, you know, that's how I started in crochet. Please don't give up. It is worth it. And as I say, the amount of projects I've started, and I'm going to show you some of them in a minute when I've started and not finished, but it was just me practicing. So yeah, keep doing your chains, and then eventually I'll get onto some other stitches, but I'll cover that in another week. So basically what I wanted to show you first of all was, when you do get to learn to crochet, this is a couple of things that I've already made so far, which I'm reasonably pleased about. And it was this one, little ice cream. I got this from Toft. Again, I'm going to link all the details below. A lovely lady called Kerry Lord runs Toft. And there's the ice cream. And even though I haven't put a face on mine yet, there is mine. And it's quite big. And I am actually quite chuffed. Because once over, I couldn't even do, as I say, a chain. And now I'm doing what they call a waffle stitch. Yeah, amazing. And the wool's lovely from Toft, by the way. I'll probably be talking about Toft quite a bit. So that's one project that I've completed. Then I decided I would just mess around based on the stitches on there. I adapted my own pattern and did my own little ice cream, little mini one with some little icing on the top or whatever it is. So yeah, so it just goes to show that you can adapt other patterns, and the world's your oyster, really. I'm hoping to go into sort of designing patterns, but I'm not that good just yet. Work in progress is another one. This is from Toft. I think this is supposed to be a dragon fruit. I just like all the quirky different little patterns. So bear in mind, this is work in progress. This is mine currently. I think I've gone a bit wrong on that side, but so yes, all the holes are deliberate because I've got to do all the little stems and the little green bits yet, and I've got to finish off and tie my ends and one thing and another. But again, I'm pleased that I can do this now, because I never thought I'd get around to doing it. I was looking at patterns before, looking at these sort of things, think I'm never ever going to learn that, and I saw people crocheting, but you will, I promise you, you will. A couple of things which I started, well, I've got one here that I've started doing granny squares, because everyone does granny squares, and no, I haven't sewn my ends in. That's another thing. They always say sew your ends in as you go, because it's a nightmare when you get to the end of a project and you've got to sew all your little ends in, and I'm terrible for that, and I don't tend to do that, as you can see. So I did all these little squares, different granny squares, different colours, again, like mix and match, and it's supposed to be a bag. But all I've done is the granny squares. I haven't sewn in the ends. I've done no more. I've just put it to one side. And you probably find, a lot of people would probably say the same. You get loads of projects, you start them, you put them in a bag, you forget about them, and then you might go back to them later. Or sometimes I get a little bit hung up on a pattern. I'll get part of the way through it and I can't do it. So I'll go and put it away, and I'll do something a bit easier for a couple of weeks, sometimes longer, and then come back to it, and I find I'm a little bit more in a better frame of mind. The amount of times I've frogged a project, now I'm going to read this to you. Someone said that if you frog something, what does it mean? Well, apparently, I don't know who it was, but someone said that it's because you rip it, rip it, rip it, rip it, and the sound of rip it, rip it, rip it sounded like a frog croaking, so they call it frogging. So when somebody says that they're frogging a project, it means that they're ripping it to bits. They've had enough, they're pulling it out and starting again. Another good thing with crochet, as against knitting, comparison with knitting, is if you drop a stitch in knitting, it's quite hard to pick it back up. In crochet, it's so easy. It doesn't run down the ladder. You don't lose everything, that all the work that you've done, and it does really work up really, really quickly. That's another good thing I like about the crochet. I like to see quick projects, things that aren't taking too long. So yeah, so basically that was it. If somebody says WIP, that's another shortened term, that means work in progress. So my work in progress is this one. A couple of books that I've bought recently is the Crochet Cafe. I like it. I think I got it from Hobby Maker. It's all the little breakfasts and food and one thing or another, and I'm going to start and work my way through that. So when I do some, I'll show you what I'm going to do that week, and then I'll show you what it looks like at the end of the week. That's the start. So I'm going to start working through that one, because my granddaughter said could we do like a full menu, so she's picked out of the book what she would like, and I said I would do it. So I must get round to doing it, because I promised her a while ago and I haven't done it yet. So yeah, so I'm going into what they call, I think it's amigurumi, a little bit like amigurumi because they're just small animals, small pieces, small work. So that's that one. If you're starting out, again, I'm going to link these books down below. I swear by this book. If you like pictures, this is a Darlene Kindersley book, but it takes you step by step. It tells you how to put things on your hook, how to do different stitches, how to decrease, increase. It's wonderful. So it is a little go-to book. But again, because I'm more of a visual learner, I do a lot of my things online, but I do refer to this one as well. And this in the early days was one of them. So yeah, basically that's what I do. Apart from, well, I do eBay as well, sell on eBay, care for my husband at home. We have 4 fur babies, 2 cats, which one of you saw a little one before, and 2 dogs. And that's just how I spend my time. This is what we do. Well, see what I do. So yeah, I love it. It's very therapeutic. My office is a mess right now. I'm hoping to get it decluttered and sorted out, and then I can show you all my craft stash and everything I've got. Oh, another little project which I've been doing recently is my little worms. Again, that's crochet, and it's once you can chain and do, I think it's a double crochet, you can do this no problem. I might do a tutorial for this one actually, because I've got quite a few of these to do. So they're little worms. That's another thing I've been doing at the moment. Oh, sorry, one more quick thing before I go. The terminology in the UK is different. So whereas we do a double crochet, I think in America it's a single crochet, and when they say double crochet, it's our treble crochet. Again, if I can get something together on a piece of paper, I'll put a link in my next video so that you can tell the difference, because that does make a difference in patterns, and that's where a lot of people do go wrong. They don't know whether it's the UK terminology or American terminology. So yeah, hope you enjoyed that. I hope you're looking forward to seeing some more, and I'll show you things that I'm making, where I buy things from, whether I've frogged it or whatever. So anyway, hope you're having a good Sunday, and we'll catch up soon. Okay, bye bye.